Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the Pioneer RTA. This is actually by BP Mods. This was designed by them and manufactured by DovePo. BP Mods is actually a sub company of DovePo, where they're going to have more, I guess, higher end type of deals that come with more, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff coming out. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and go down. We're going to look at this further. This is a 22 millimeter RTA, strictly mouth to lung. You're going to have some options that come with it, which is very, very exciting. So let's go ahead and go down. We'll look at it, pros and cons, come back up, vape on it. So here we are with the Pioneer RTA by BP Mods. Okay, so here we are with a mouth to lung RTA by BP Mods. This is the box that it comes in. It's going to have some kit contents on the back. This is designed by BP Mods, and it is manufactured by DovePo. So let's go ahead and open up the box. Again, BP Mods. Love the logo. And you open up the box, and the first thing you're going to see is the social media information. So for BP Mods, you can actually visit them on Facebook, Instagram, or on YouTube. And there's warnings on this side. So this is sort of like a funny little card in a way, but it's very serious in the way that you want to have the best experience. So you do want to make sure that you're staying in the green and not so much in the red. It tells you the type of coils that are best for it, as well as the type of devices that are best for it. Now, inside the box, this is going to be different than a lot of companies do. In addition to getting your RTA, you're actually going to be getting 2 extra tank tubes and 2 extra drip tips, and there's even much more. So let me show you everything that's in the box. So inside the box, you're going to get your RTA. This does have the dark or the gray frosted PCTG tank tube on it, but you do have options with this. If you notice, this has like a peak type of drip tip. This is removable. It's actually, you would unscrew it and you can change it out. So you actually get choices with this. You're going to have a choice of using the clear frosted or the white frosted glass. This is actually my preferred. And it does come with the matching drip tip. And then you can use Ultim. I don't preferably like Ultim, but there are many of you out there that do. And if you want to use the Ultim, then of course you have the matching drip tip. You're actually going to be getting 2 coils. I've already pulled one out. 2 coils. You're going to get some extra grub screws or regular flathead screws and some O-rings for the tank. In addition to that, you're going to be getting 2 additional 510 pins. These 510 pins are different because of the fact that they are, they're different millimeters. They're different airflow adjustment holes. So for instance, this one here, if you see the size hole of that one is actually a little bit bigger than this one. So these are actually to change your airflow. So if you want more restriction, you would go with this one. This one is actually the 1.5 millimeter airflow. And this one here is the 1.2 millimeter airflow. So the one that is currently installed is actually the 0.8 millimeter, which I'll be showing you. So I think that it's great that they actually give you all these extras. You're getting extra PCTG tank tubes, you're getting extra drip tips, you're getting extra airflow, you're getting a lot of extras with this. So let's now go over the RTA. Now again, you do have a removable drip tip. All you need to do is just take out the drip tip, and then the drip tip will actually unscrew from here. So this is how you would change it out. You just unscrew it from the drip tip right there. Again, it's just a standard 510 on the bottom. And then say, for instance, I want the frosted, which if you're watching this, you know that I want the frosted. All you have to do is just go ahead and screw that one in. And now you've got the frosted drip tip, and it makes it look almost brand new. So 510 drip tip adapter, and there you go. So it does have like these heat sink fins right there. If you notice, it does say designed by, and then it's got the logo here. It doesn't really say the name, but it does say designed by. Top fill is a 1/4 turn, and it pops open like this. And this is also going to have your serial number on it. It's also on the bottom, which I'll be showing you. But look at the size fill holes. Absolutely amazing. And of course, it does have these notches here, which do lock your top in place so that you don't have any type of leaking or spillage. And you want to push down and then turn, and it fits right into place. Now on the bottom, this is actually a 22 millimeter in diameter RTA. It does say BP Mods right there. And then you've got Pioneer RTA right there. And then of course the 510. you can actually change out for the different airflow options. Now on the bottom, if you notice, there's a slit here for airflow, like a cyclops slit. But if you turn it, you can actually also get little air holes, like really, like these are better for like mouth to lung, really restricting your mouth to lung, and you can adjust it any way you want to. Just like you can adjust the cyclops slit, you can actually cut it down, you can open it up. It does give you two different types of airflow options, which I think is great. Now to remove the base, all you need to do is this little bottom piece right there, this little disc, you're just going to turn it, and this will actually release the deck from the top. Now we're going to go over this part first, and then we'll go over the deck. Now this one, the glass or the tank section, is actually removable. You're just going to unscrew this tank part like this, and this is where you can actually change it out. Now when you're unscrewing these or changing them out, you want to be really careful, because this is where the threading is. There's threading there as well. This, if you're too hard on it, you can actually cross thread it, so you want to be very gentle with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on, but first I want to show you this part here. This is actually the dome piece that actually fits right over your RTA. So if you notice how small that is, I don't know if you, I mean in the camera it might look bigger, but it is kind of small. So this, you want to be certain that your coil is actually no higher than the tip of this. You want to make sure that it's under that, because you are going to be getting that reduced chamber type of flavor, and it's going to fit that deck in there just like that. So you want to be careful with that. So we'll go ahead and change out the glass. I'm going to put on the, I keep calling it glass. We all know it's PCTG and it's a tank tube, but I'm going to call it glass just to say glass. But I'm going to put on the clear frosted because that's the one that I like. And then we'll go ahead and look at this. So I'm going to remove the 510 from here so you can see the different size. And this is going to be the 0.8 millimeter airflow. Now, whenever you're pulling out your 510, there is a peak insulating piece right there. You want to be really careful not to pull that out, or if you do, put it right back in, because that peak insulation does have to be in there. See how it came out? You want to make sure that it stays in there. So stay right there. Okay, so here is actually the other 510. This is the 0.8 millimeter. So that's right there. And then to put it in, you want to make sure that you're holding your deck in place with your other finger, because the deck will remove. It's that way for cleaning purposes. And then just go ahead and tighten this back in, making sure that it's completely tight. I like the 0.8 millimeter best, so that's why I'm keeping that one in. I'm not going to change it out, but you can change it with the coil in it or without. When you're doing it with the coil in it, number one, be careful that it's not hot. Number two, you don't want to put pressure on the coil, just on the deck itself to hold it in place. So that is that. So let's go ahead and get to building. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a mod, and then we're going to build it and talk about it some more. And then you always want to make sure that your wattage is very low, especially for mouth to lung coils. When you're heating it up, I heat it about 10, 11, 12 watts like that. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so that you can see that deck. Now, if you notice on this deck, there's actually 2 post holes right there. And then this is the airflow. So this is what everything is adjusting when you're changing it out to the other ones. So they've got smaller ones and bigger ones. So that's what that looks like. So I'm actually going to leave it the way that it is. And then we're going to be using the coil that they actually provided. So what I'm going to do is open up the post screws. And these are flathead. And they come out really, you can see them opening up right there. There you go, there's one, and now you can see my finger through it. There we go, they're both open. So all we need to do then is just take our coil and just go ahead and put them in. One leg there, one leg here. Just push it right in, just like that. Push it in. And they fit just like that. Now you can cut your legs a little bit if it bothers you, but it's pretty simple to put that in. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and tighten this down. And I want my coil right over the airflow. So I'm going to leave it right about there and screw this one down. And then this one. And now we can adjust our coil, making sure that it's actually even. There we go. Right there. Lift it up a little bit more on this side. And there we go. That's about the way I want it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the legs. And you want to make sure that you're cutting them flush, because remember that dome cap is going to go right over it. And cut that one. Cut that one. And now they're nice and flush and nothing is sticking out. Got my coil nice and even, and that's where you want it. You don't want it to go above the deck. That's absolutely perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and dry fire it and get it to heat up. Just like that. Okay, give it a little scrape right there. There we go. Nice and heated, so that's perfect. Got my cotton, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put that through here. And reach out the other end. There we go. And I'm going to pull it from both ends. Whenever you have a coil, this is true for mesh too. You want to pull it from both ends because it actually pulls it tighter in the middle, so it's not as fluffy and easier to manipulate through the coil. You see that? I didn't even move my coil because the fact that I'm pulling on both sides, it makes it really, really easy to do that. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my scissors and I'm going to cut off some of this. Now, this right here is the wicking channel, and then this right here is actually where the e-liquid is coming in from the tank. The e-liquid comes in right here, it wets your wick, and that's how it works. So we want to make sure that we have cotton in there, but we don't want it to be too full of cotton because we don't want it to get choked out, so that the e-liquid can naturally absorb or wet our wicks. So I'm just going to thin this out just a little bit like this, just fluff it out just a little bit. And I'm going to cut a little bit more, but I want to fluff it out first because I want it to just lay in that channel. I don't want it to be stuffed in there. I'm just going to take my scissors and again cut it. There we go. Really don't need way too much cotton in there. You definitely want to be careful with the amount of cotton that you're putting in. Okay, you just want like little tiny little bows. There we go. Nice and fluffy, and then all we have to do is just put it right there in the wicking channel. So you don't really need too much. Okay, put that in. There we go. And again, the juice is going to be coming in from those little divots right there and the little divot right here. So we're going to go ahead and put some juice, put of e-liquid, and make sure that it's getting saturated. Within the coil, we want it saturated. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. Pulse. Some on, pulse. And that way we know that the cotton within the coil is getting saturated. And just a little tiny bit here. A little bit, tiny bit here, and that'll help us get that cotton to stay inside. So no wispies, because you know that I hate wispies. There we go. And just lay this one back down. There we go. Okay. So that is what that looks like. Really, really simple to use. Wispy. Really, really simple to build on. So all you need to do from there is you don't even have to remove anything. You can literally just go ahead and screw this down just like this. That's it. Now all we need to do is zoom out a little bit so we can fill it. And all we need to do is just take the top off to fill it. And it does hold 3.7 mils of e-liquid. Just go ahead, look how big the holes are. It makes it really, really easy to fill up. And fill that out. And then when you're putting on the top or taking it off, you just want to press a little bit. And that way it'll go in and it's a quarter turn and you're done. So that's it. That's the Pioneer RTA by BP Mods. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go on top. We'll talk about it, pros and cons. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Pioneer RTA. And before anything, we're going to go ahead and have vape, and then we're going to talk more about it. This is truly truly mouth to lung. And I'm saying that because this is not one that you could possibly direct lung. This is definitely a mouth to lung. No matter if you're using the Cyclops slit or the little holes, no matter what, you're actually going to be getting a restrictive vape, which I do like for mouth to lung RTAs. Now, this is not going to be something for direct lung users that really like it. Even some pods are a lot more airier than this is, because this is more down to earth, bottom start, you know, if you're just starting out, kind of mouth to lung. It's really, really that good. Now for me, it's got a lot of pros and a couple cons. So we're going to go ahead and go over the pros first, and then we'll go over the cons. First pro is going to be the fact that they give you the tank section and the drip tip to match. That to me is definitely a pro. You know me, I love matchy. So that to me is the first pro. The second one is the fact that they give you not one, not two glasses or tank tubes, but they actually give you three. You've got a clear frosted or a white frosted, you've got the gray frosted, and then you've got the ultim. So you actually get three different types, and they all come with their own drip tips, which I think is fantastic. I mean, talk about options, right? In addition to that, you've got different 510 pins to also reduce the airflow or increase the airflow a little bit for your mouth to lung use. So basically this is like a conversion kit for those of us out there that like mouth to lung, we like vaping, we like RTAs that are easy to build on, and we want to make it ours. So you can actually do that. Now they are going to be coming out with, on their Facebook page, which is BP Mods Facebook page, they're actually going to be coming out with some accessories for this. So I want you to keep an eye out on that. So if you like accessories, you definitely want to check on that. But yeah, so it does come with all those adjustments. It's an easy single coil build. You really couldn't get easier than that. I really like the looks of it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, with the frosted glass with some yellow e-liquid in it, it's not going to look too frosted, but it is the frosted with the frosted tip, which again, I do love options. So thank you for doing that. And it's 22 millimeter, which is the standard for mouth to lung vapors. So 22 millimeters, it does hold 3.7 mils of e-liquid. It's not a huge amount, but it's mouth to lung. It's true mouth to lung. So going through 3.7 milliliters of e-liquid is going to take you a little bit of time, to be honest with you. It's going to take you a little bit of time because it's very, very mouth to lung. In addition to that, you get extras. You're getting good flavor. I'm talking good. Well, it's mouth to lung, so you're getting really, really good flavor. You've got airflow options. You've got additional airflow options on the bottom. You've got changes. You've got extras. You get 2 coils with it. It's easy to wick. It's easy to coil. Everything about it is really, really easy. And that's pretty much good for and that is really, really good for a mouth to lung vapor. Now, it does have a couple cons. For me, personally, I would have liked to know what the material is of the coils that were provided. That to me is a number 1. And number 2, being that the tank threads into it, I mean, they give you 3 different ones, 3 different tank sections. So I think that's great, but you have to be really, really careful of the screw in tank sections. Being that it's PCTG, it's not like glass. So you just put it on there and you put it together. It's literally threaded in there. So you do want to be careful when you're using this, not to thread it over tight, but you do need it tight enough to where you don't take the top fill off. And that's going to be my second kind of subjective con. The top fill, I like the look of it with the heat sink fins and stuff like that, but I would have preferred some sort of a knurling. It is sometimes you just put it on and it's kind of a little tight and you're trying to get it off and you can't because of those heat sink fins. There's no gripper to it. So I personally would have liked some sort of knurling on it, whether it just be in sections or something like that so that I can get it off a little bit easier. But that's just my personal kind of subjective con, because otherwise it works absolutely beautifully. If you're looking for mouth to lung, I would definitely look further into this. And it is a little bit higher priced, but I'm finding it for about $45 and up, but you have to remember they give you so many extras. You're getting 3 different airflow adapters. You're getting 3 different tanks. You're getting 3 different drip tips. You're getting the accessories of the O-rings and the extras. You're getting a lot in the box for just the RTA. So I think that that's great. I don't think that it's overpriced because usually the RTAs can run anywhere from $30 to $40. So I think that it's right in that price range. Plus you're getting so many extras that I really don't find fault with it. Now that's pretty much it for my review. I want to know down below, and you know who you are, down below, is this something that you would look into? Because I know that you like single coil, not so long RTAs. Or is this something that you wouldn't? I personally don't like the drip tip. That is my last objective con. I do have to say that. I mean, I think it's cute and everything, but it's just not for me. I would rather have one of those tall, like domed out ones rather than this one personally, but that's my personal preference. It doesn't vape bad or at all. It doesn't give me any type of bad vibes. It's just that for me personally, I don't like these type of drip tips. But that's my last objective con. I was going to hold that in, but I have to give it to you. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and I will see you in the next one.